All right, let's talk about the unsung hero of the internet, the protocol that keeps everything secure, SSL/TLS. If you're in DevOps, getting a handle on this isn't just a good idea, it's everything. So let's dive right in. Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll hit the fundamentals. Why do we even need this stuff? Then, we'll pull back the curtain on how digital trust actually gets built online. After that, we'll get practical and talk about the certificate lifecycle and why automation is so key. And finally, we'll tie it all back to the tools and platforms you use every single day.
So let's start with the big question, right? Why is everyone so obsessed with TLS? Why is it considered the absolute, non-negotiable foundation for pretty much any app you can think of?
Well, it all starts right here, the difference between HTTP and HTTPS. See, HTTP sends everything in plain text. You can think of it like sending a postcard. Anyone who gets their hands on it can read the whole message. HTTPS, on the other hand, that little S stands for secure. It wraps that postcard in a locked, tamper-proof envelope. It's the difference between shouting your password across a busy cafe and whispering it in a bank vault. And you know, without TLS, the consequences are, well, they're bad. Your users' login details can get snatched right out of the air. Your APIs are basically wide open, and worse, an attacker could literally change the data while it's in transit without anyone knowing. Oh, and good luck passing any kind of security audit like PCI or HIPAA. It's just not going to happen.
So TLS is our hero here, and it brings a super powerful combo to the table. First, you've got encryption, which just scrambles the data into gibberish for anyone listening in. Then there's authentication, which is how you prove you're talking to the real server and not an imposter. And finally, integrity, which is a guarantee that the message you received is the exact same message that was sent. It's confidentiality, trust, and reliability all rolled into one.
Okay, so we know TLS provides trust. But how? How does that actually work under the hood? Let's peel back the layers and look at the actual mechanics. And it all starts with something called a digital certificate. So at its core, a digital certificate is just an official document for the online world. It's handed out by a super trusted third party, a certificate authority, or CA. And its main job is simple, to prove that a server is who it claims to be.
The best analogy, really, is to think of it as a server's official passport. Just like your passport proves your identity and what country you're from, a certificate proves a server's identity and its ownership of a domain like example.com. When your browser sees that valid passport, it says, okay, cool, I can trust this connection.
So what's inside this digital passport? Well, it securely locks three things together. The actual domain name it's for, the server's public key, we'll get to that in a sec, and some info about the organization that owns it.
Now this brings us to the real magic, public key cryptography. Every TLS setup has a pair of keys. The public key is, public, it's shared with everyone, and its job is to lock or encrypt data. The private key, though, is top secret. It's kept under lock and key on the server, and it's the only thing in the universe that can unlock the data that was locked with this public key. They're a perfect match.
And this all comes together in something called the TLS handshake. It's this incredibly fast negotiation that happens in milliseconds. Your browser says hi, the server shows its passport, that certificate, and your browser does a quick background check with the authority that issued it. Once everyone's happy, they use that public and private key pair to create a brand new one-time secret key for just that session. And from that point on, all communication is locked down tight.
Okay, so let's get practical. These certificates, they don't last forever, and managing their life cycle from birth to death is a huge part of a DevOps job. In the old days, and let's be honest, in some places today, this was a massive manual headache. You had to generate keys, create a formal certificate signing request, email it to a CA, wait for them to approve it, get the file back, and then manually install it. And the scariest part? You had to put a reminder in your calendar to do it all over again before it expired.
And that brings us to the most critical point of all. People forget. And when someone forgets to renew a certificate, your website, your API, your whole service, it just goes dark. It throws up massive security warnings to all your users. It's genuinely one of the most common and frankly most preventable causes of major outages. Automation isn't just a nice-to-have, it's absolutely vital.
And this is where Let's Encrypt completely changed the game. It's a free, totally automated certificate authority that uses a protocol called ACME to handle all that issuance and renewal stuff without a human ever touching it. Now the key here is that their certs only last 90 days, and that's not a bug, it's a feature. It forces you to automate, and it massively shrinks the window of time an attacker has if a private key ever gets stolen.
All right, let's bring this all home. How does all this theory actually apply to the real-world infrastructure that you're building and managing every day in a modern DevOps environment? I guarantee every DevOps engineer has woken up in a cold sweat because of one of these. The expired certificate we just talked about, total nightmare. Or a domain mismatch where the certificate is for the wrong address. Or maybe you've got a self-signed certificate in production that browsers just laugh at. The beauty is, good automation basically makes all of these errors disappear.
So a really common pattern you'll see is called TLS termination. The idea is that the encrypted traffic from the big, scary internet hits your front door, like a load balancer or an ingress controller, and that's where all the decryption happens. Then, the traffic can be passed to your internal services as plain, unencrypted HTTP. This is awesome because it puts all your certificate management in one spot and lets your app developers focus on building features, not messing with certs.
And speaking of modern infrastructure, if you're working with Kubernetes, TLS is literally everywhere. It's securing all your incoming traffic at the ingress. It's used for secure chatter between your services, which is called MTLS. Even the Kubernetes API server itself uses it to stay secure. And a fantastic tool called Cert Manager has pretty much become the go-to way to automate all of this inside your cluster.
So let's wrap this up with a quick checklist. As a DevOps pro, you've got to have this stuff down cold. You need to know the difference between HTTP and HTTPS, obviously. You need to understand the dance between a certificate, a public key, and a private key. You should be familiar with patterns like TLS termination. And most importantly, you must embrace automation for certificate renewals. It's just that critical.
And that really brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. It's not a question of if a manually managed certificate will cause an outage, but when. So the real question you have to ask yourself is the automation I have in place right now strong enough, robust enough to prevent that from ever happening?